what would you say is driving you now? Because you have the nice villa, you have your family. No, actually, what did it change for you to have a child?
Transparently, it wasn't planned, but I'd always wanted to have a child. I was kind of concerned whether I would be able to or kind of not. And it was ironically, it was a big shock because my partner's name's also called Charlie. She basically, we were in Las Vegas at the time, actually for an Alex Hormozy thing, which is kind of random. And for Valentine's Day, she gave me this bag. And in the bag, there was like 2 baby boots and like a pregnancy stick thing. So I found out she was pregnant on Valentine's Day, which is kind of random, like fucking weird, right? So, and this is what's even more weird. Inside the boots, I always liked the name Carter. I originally always thought I'd just have a son, so we can call him Carter. And then we had a daughter who I just called Carter anyway. And then in the boots, dude, it said fucking Carter. Like Crazy. That was a brand. It was like Carter's, yeah. So I was like, that's fucking spooky. So it wasn't planned, but it's always something I kind of always wanted. I think how it's probably changed my perspective on things is things that would piss me off massively, piss me off less, if that makes sense. So like, one would be like, I don't know, people talking shit about you on the internet for like fucking no reason. Like, I'm sure you've had it. I fucking get it all the time. I'm like, that for now, I'm just like, oh, fuck, I don't really care. Like, you guys are just retards, because if you've got nothing else better to do than talk shit about someone, like, because we signed up clients who didn't want to sign up with you, then that's your fucking problem. Mm-hmm. So I think the way I try and think about situations like that, if anyone lashes out, anyone, is always like, the world's a mirror, not a window. That's someone's own insecurity of them fucking playing up if they have to kind of speak about things like that. But I think probably the biggest thing has been getting less pissed off by stuff like that. And then also thinking longer term, if that makes sense. So stretching time horizons and then setting bigger goals with longer time horizons. Like for this year, I kind of have targets, but I don't have like specific goals. Where before I'd be like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. Like now I'm just fucking kind of doing my thing every day and just going with the flow and doing the best I can, and then aiming at the fucking North Star of the targets, and we'll kind of fucking see where it lands.
Mm-hmm. How much do you take care of the baby?
It's kind of difficult as a man, and like fucking guys listening to this can jump in and shout on this and agree, but at the first few weeks is very difficult because they kind of really just want the mum, and they still kind of do a lot at the kind of beginning, because a man can't breastfeed them, and then they just sleep a lot of the time. So it's like you're kind of not really involved, and they just want the mum a lot of the time. So I'm in a fortunate position which is kind of common in Dubai, where we have like we have a nanny, we have a fucking night nanny. My mother-in-law is here, so like there's lots of people who can kind of help. So I'll try and like help as much as I kind of can. I've changed like 2 nappies maybe. It's my fucking but
still,
it does make it more challenging, and that's actually the advice I give to anyone who's young.
Yeah,
is like, get yourself to a point where your business can kind of run without you, and then have children. So like, I don't take sales calls. I don't really do many one-to-one calls. If I want to cancel everything in my day, it doesn't really matter if there's a problem. I had to do that maybe like the other week. I had to cancel a podcast with someone. It was a big podcast because we had to go to the hospital with the baby. But like, if I had to take sales calls and do stuff like that, my business would lose revenue, because my business is designed to kind of run without me. It then doesn't really matter. So that's why I say to everyone, like, when you're younger, you need to push hard fast to get to that point where you have more kind of self-sufficiency in the business. It's not just you driving everything, if that makes sense.
I'm thinking about having a baby, like not now, but in the future. And I'm not really sure if I want one, actually, because I feel like it's very draining, and it's a bit like the lottery, you know? Because
it's hard as fucking shit. No one fucking tell you.
Yeah, it's hard. But I feel like there is also you cannot really control what's going to be the personality and character trait of your baby. I feel like some child were born in family with like the perfect parents. They have good education, but they are still nightmares to deal with. And like, you don't really know what you're going to come across with. And so I value freedom a lot. And I'm like, I don't know if I really want to take the bet to have to deal with...
How old are you though, dude?
26.
You do some 36. In 10 years time, you've got loads of time.
Yeah.
It's also a good thing for men is that you like, we can keep having children to like, I think Tony Robbins had a kid at like 55 or something.
Yeah, during COVID.
So like, there's fucking loads of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if the position of like the good and cool uncle I think if it fits well for me.
I guarantee you in 10 years time, if you haven't had a child, you want to have a child. Like,
Okay.
I would say the way I'd kind of even frame it is if I died today, I'd kind of feel happy anyway, because I've like kind of completed everything. And there's like a living thing part of me still here, if that makes sense.
Okay. But when you think about it, why does it matter to have something living out of you? Because in 3 generations,
No
it
one
won't
cares.
matter anyway.
But then if your previous generations had that thought process, you wouldn't exist, or neither would I.
That's true.
And also, like, I've just read Elon Musk's autobiography. He's pushing big on people having kids because there's actually a big issue with like population collapse. So like, I went on holiday to the Maldives last week, and it was like, with kids, it's fucking great. And like that type of scenario, it also made me think of like, okay, if you get super rich, you don't really have to work. It'd be fucking sick. I have like fucking 5 kids because you could just kind of like fuck around or die. You go on holiday, you just do what you want, play football with them on the beach. So I think that would be a big motive to kind of like push towards. An extreme example of that, even just think about it. So I got invited to go to Richard Branson's Necker Island at the end of the year. And like, imagine if you had enough money, you could build a sick island in the fucking Caribbean, play tennis and fucking football with the kids all day and just do whatever you want. That'd be pretty sick. So like, I think if you can set big goals and aspirations of things like that, you can then kind of build the life you want. I would say I didn't want children, like probably actually again when I first came to Dubai. And then even like last week, I was like, oh yeah, I would definitely have another one. But then when they play up, you're like, oh, I don't know. But like,
did you feel some kind of social pressure over time as you were growing older?
I think as a man, in my opinion, there's some part that you feels like you need to have children.
Okay.
I also think from, not that it's a marketing ploy, but from a marketing perspective, people trust you more.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because like if people see like, oh, like he's got a baby and like, or even, I mean, fucking walking around like Dubai Mall with like a baby, like all the women would come up to me and start talking to me like just being nice because everyone trusts you straight away.
Yeah.
Not that they wouldn't trust me anyway, but do you know what I mean? So I think if you have a very kind of like hard demeanor sometimes, it's one of those good things to kind of like soften people out.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I'm not against, and I'm not 100% sure now. I'm still in between. But I always ask when someone have a baby, what did it change for them? And
it's way, way, way harder than people talk about. No one talks about that. Everyone just talks about the good shit. It's difficult.
Okay. And it's like, this is only the beginning.
Yeah, but I think the beginning's the worst.
Okay.
So like for me, it's also kind of like the older she's getting, she's only like 4 months old, the more fun they kind of do stuff. Whereas at the beginning, they kind of can't do anything.
Yeah.
So I think when you can actually, what I'm looking forward to is when you can teach them things and they can start to, I don't know, play tennis, they can play football, you can like, I was also thinking how sick is this, is you can build a little protege. Like remember she was only like maybe like 8 weeks old and I was sitting outside with her on my lap and I had like my headphones in, like voice noting AI, all this stuff. And I was thinking like the amount of stuff she's going to know by the time she's like 5 years old, just from hearing me talk all the time about these things is wild. And it's kind of like you're saying about like getting the right mentors and surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yes.
That for me is like, okay, cool. I'd be sick to see how like successful and how amazing a human being you can make someone into, if that makes sense.
And do you feel it's preventing you from traveling and enjoying other stuff that life has to offer?
I would say everything has a cost. So like you have to sacrifice some things. It's more difficult to go and do some things. It's more disruptive for the female, 100% more than the male, because I remember a friend of mine, Mike Radoy, speaking at an event, said this. It's like this human is going to be attached to the mother like non-stop for the next 18 years. Like they always, like men are kind of designed, like if you think back in caveman times, like we go off and hunt and they don't necessarily want to be with dad all the time. Whereas I think, and I think also my opinion for anyone who's like a business owner is you are better off being present for like an hour or two a day, like really present, than being someone who's there like 10 hours a day, but you're just like on the sofa watching TV or on your phone or something. Do you know what I mean? There's a difference between like time and then like quality time or actually being interactive.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, because for me, I value a lot freedom and the ability to live experiences, travel. That's why I went to China to learn Kung Fu. And 2 weeks ago, I did a like 100K ultra trail run in Ras Al Khaimah, like 1 hour from Dubai. And I'm scared that all of these experiences and crazy stuff I'm not going to be able to keep doing them after having a child, but maybe it's a limiting belief, especially living in Dubai and having nannies and stuff. It looks way easier compared to what my parents has to do with me.
Dude, I tell you what, it's given me a huge amount of respect for is anyone who's a single mom.
Yeah.
Or who had like 2 kids. Like it's difficult, but then also life is systems, right? If you can build the right system, like the reason I moved to this house was because I knew I was gonna have a child. Otherwise I would stay in Dubai Marina because I don't need a 6-bedroom house. So, but then I knew if I move here, it's like, okay, well, I then have loads of space and my work's not going to be disrupted. We've got space to have nannies, people stay, whatever. So I kind of planned ahead for that, so then it was not as disruptive as it kind of could be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But also, if you think from a business perspective, you build your business the right way, it shouldn't need to kind of run with you. And I think it forced me to plan ahead to try and like separate myself a bit more so that it could kind of, I steer the ship, but I'm not the person fucking pressing all the buttons, if that makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah.
If you enjoyed this clip and you're a business owner, content creator, or coach, and you want help in terms of exactly how to scale your business to the next level using ads, AI, VSLs, setters, and building teams that basically monetize your business and monetize your knowledge, but without you having to press all the buttons, it's never been easier than before. What we can do is we can walk through the whole process in terms of how we're doing this over and over and over again with content creators, with business owners. If you hit the link at the bottom of this video, you can book a call with us and the team. We can audit your whole business, show you where the bottlenecks are, and show you exactly how we can scale. And if we think you're a good fit to work with us, we can show you what that looks like too.